Okay, here we go. So look, spiritually, where you at spiritually, like your spiritual life, and if you're at a four, put a four there. It doesn't matter. Like, dude, this is for you. Like, this is for you only. Like, it's not. Who cares what people think? This is for you to figure out where you're at in your in this current position, like life right now. Where you at in this current spot, and where do we need to move forward? So it doesn't matter if you're a 7, 4, a 2. Hey, some people are like a 1. Like, hey, that's what it is. One time, at one point, I was a 0. So like, I'm not here. I was at a 0. Like like this is crazy. But growing up, I always went to church with my mom, but it was a Spanish church, so I never understood what the hell was going on. So from all the way to like almost elementary, like almost to the end of elementary, I never understood what it was about. And so now I'm like curious, and I'm always seeking, and I'm always looking. So hey, if you're 0, like you can work, like you can work your way up. Physical health is just your physical condition, man. Like what uh especially you get older, right? Because I didn't really start to look at my health till I was probably like about 38. But I wish I would have probably like took it a little bit more serious probably when I was like 25. Reason being is because I could have made a lot of adjustments, and I could have knew myself better. I could have knew what my body needed early on, instead of just trying to figure out what I needed, like just by home remedies and googling stuff. Uh, and it wasn't this didn't happen. This I didn't understand this the importance of this until I got around like multimillionaires, and I really started to study them, and I have a lot of friends that I hang out with, and I see like I kind of see their routines and like what they got going on, and vitamins are taking, and the doctor visits, and I started to ask questions. Hey, like, what is this about? Like, what about this? Like, why are you doing that? What is the purpose of taking this supplement? Right? And it came down to health, man. They said, hey, you know what, like the you don't have to be the smartest person to win in business, but if you can outlast the competition, if you're physically fit to outwork them, then you're gonna win. And so if you study a lot of successful business owners, like they just outperform the other people. Like they just outperform because they were mentally and physically prepared to do that. So if someone says, hey, you know what, I worked 60 hours, hey, you know what, like I know a lot of CEOs, they work 100 hours a week, 120, like nothing like that, but they do it. So see, look, this is another thing too. Like you don't want to be the one hit wonder, right? And what I mean by that is like you don't want to be like, man, like I had this year, all year I worked 100 hours. Okay, cool. Can you do it next year? Maybe. Can you do it next year? After the year? So you want to get to the point where like you're just like you're doing it. That's normal to you. 100 hours a week, 120 hours a week. That's normal to you. And if you can do it for a long period of time, that's when you're just you're on a different level, because you're able to do it for a long period of time. Think about this: one hit wonder, like the singers, they're only able to do that one time, and then what happened? They became obsolete. So it's the same thing with business and with your life. Like you wanna make sure you're physically healthy, so that you can perform year after year after year after year after year after year. And the way you're gonna have to do this is, I mean, really watch what you can eat. Watch what you find out what you can eat to begin with, and then find out what you shouldn't be eating. Find out what you need to eliminate, and it might even take you going to see a doctor, saying, hey, I need to get some blood work done. I need to know what my body's what it's going through, because there's some stuff, man, that'll creep up on you, and you not even know it. You might not even know it. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, uh I mean, we still have two collision repair shops, but for a long time, I was the painter, and I was around toxic fumes and thinner and uh everything. Like I was exposed to that, and I wouldn't wear a mask sometimes, DAing with, just out in the open, spraying. Just I'm gonna spray it real quick, and and whenever I went to a doctor and I started to look to see what happened, a lot of those chemicals will start to mess up your body, and they start to mess up your hormones because they get absorbed into your skin, and so your body's not functioning like it could be because of these outside chemicals that's damaging your body, like kind of like smoking, like it's the same thing. So it's always good to get your health checked out. That way you can go the distance and make sure that you can put in the years back to back to back to back. So take account of this. You might be at a 0 or you might be at a 10. I mean, I don't know. 10 is going to be extremely healthy, but you can be in between here. It doesn't matter where you're at. That's between you and the paper. Finances, like finances, where are you at financially? We did a poll on this. And I'll share the link. If you're interested in the link, I can share the link with Patrick and Dave did about wealth, about the wealth and the income. And really, I don't know if I can bring it up right now. It's kind of late, but really financially, like, I'm just gonna ask you, right? Are you financially in a position where you feel comfortable, like long term? Do you have your savings? Do you have investment accounts going? Do you have a backup plan? Your personal debt. Like how does all that look? A lot of times people don't want to talk about it, but you always want to check it out. So it's gonna be from 1 to 10, right? So take an inventory of that. Say, hey, you know what? How's my personal debt? Do I need to improve it? Am I financially positioning myself to where if I want to buy a house, if I want to buy a new car, if I want to buy a shop or a warehouse or whatever, am I setting myself up to do that? And so you might have to grade that. You might have to grade yourself there. With business, so look, this is going to be very important too. So most people, you might be employed, you might be self-employed, you might be a business owner, right? You might be a subcontractor, whatever the case is. You're still operating a business, whether you're the one-man show or whether you're working with another business. Yourself is a business. Like, you are a business. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to figure out, like, are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in growing, yourself as a business, or if you have a business, right? Either or. For me, it'll be like a business, right? How is my business? How is my business going, right? And so I have to grade that. I say, okay, it's not a 10, but I'm making improvements. I'm doing that. So I'm moving in that. My daughter keeps calling. I'm moving in that direction. So you have to grade it. And basically what's going to happen here is you're going to see where the low numbers are at, and you're going to start to see where you need to make improvements. And you can't do this all in one day or 1 week. I mean, you can't make the improvements all in one time. So you're gonna have to slowly start to improve it, and business, what are ways in business I can get better, right? Do I need to find mentors? Do I need to find coaches? Do I need to learn new skills in this area? Is it time to rebrand the business? Is it time to recreate myself? So there's a bunch of different things we can address here, right? Your job, right? If you have a job, like, are you giving it 110% at your job, right? Or are you just showing up? Have you became an asset to that company? Have you became a real asset to that company, to where, like, you know what, they need me here, and so I have kind of some job security because they know that how valuable I am. So you might want to do an evaluation on yourself and say, you know what, am I showing up to work like I'm proud to be here? Or maybe you're in the wrong career. There's several assessment tests that I have in here in this booklet. They're free. There's several assessment tests that I have here that that'll help you discover, hey, what are my strengths, to maybe I need to position myself in a different career. So we have the assessments on here that some of them are free. I think 4 of them are free, and one of them is you have to pay if you want that one. I think the one you have to pay is the strength finders. You can pay there, or you can just buy the book at Barnes and Noble, and it'll come with a free code in the back. but really discover and break down, okay, am I performing like I should be in my job? Key relationships, key relationships are going to be people that that help, that can help, that can elevate you, that can pull you forward, right? That can bring you up. What are those key relationships? I know whenever I was involved with Rotary, and I was involved with the Masonic Lodge and Chamber, there were some key players that I always kept in contact with. In fact, I still do, because I know they have connections. They know a lot of people. So I got to make sure I value those relationships, and I got to make sure I'm always constantly nourishing those relationships, kind of like with everybody that you saw in the beginning, with Patrick, with David, with Albert, with Sophia, with Elena, with Grant. Like, those are key relationships. So I always try to nourish those relationships, right? It's the same thing with family. Family's key relationships. Your personal life. How are you personally? How do you feel personally about yourself? Do you feel that you're going in the right direction? That can be relationships. How is your marriage? Does that need to be worked on? Do you need to spend more time connecting in that area? Because look, if you commit too much into one area, then everything else is going to be hurting. Everything else is going to be back, and you're going to be miserable, because uh everything these might be at an 8. Let's say, for example, your job, like, you love your job and your job's a 9, but your finances are 3, and your physical health is 2. Your spiritual life is 0, right? You're gonna start to run into some problems as you keep going, because these are gonna you love your job, but you're not in a healthy condition to do it long term. So, I mean, what if you have a heart attack? Then you're gonna be screwed, because you're gonna be out of there. So I wanted to share with you this tonight, and really just maybe you can give it some thought, and work through it, and just look at it. I mean, it's what it is. It's really like a personal scoreboard. It's data to kind of know where you stand, and say, hey, you know what? Like, I need to not get complacent. I need to not get complacent, and focus more on my health. I need to focus more on my finances. I need to focus more on my spiritual life. And spiritual life can be whatever you decide to do. I mean, you might even go as far as saying, hey, like, Google, what are some ways I can improve my spiritual life? What are some ways I can improve my physical health? What are some ways I can improve my finances? What are some ways I can improve my relationships? What are some ways I can improve my marriage? What are some ways I can find a soulmate? Those are personal life. But it is these are just triggers, and these are just uh symbols. These are just signs. These are just words that will lead you to something greater. So I wanted to share one more thing with y'all before I go. It's already going to be 6:36. So let me see where it's at. Let me see if I have a whiteboard here. Let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna see if I can. Hey, do y'all have any questions? I don't know where the chat's at. Let me know if you have any questions. We can go into some questions. If not, I'm gonna see if I can. You have anybody has questions?
Hello.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions, Andrew?
Yes. So say my spiritual life is a 3, um, and you work on it. It's like how fast can you move up on those scales of, like,
And
really, I guess you really ask. I guess you really got to ask yourself. I mean, it can take like weeks and months. I mean,
now like
do you want to?
the spiritual life, like I really like it doesn't take too long. Like it doesn't take too long because you'll know, right? You'll
Right.
know you'll know if it feels good. And what I mean by that is like for a while I was listening to I mean you have to find, like, for example, like some people listen, like, for example, you know how some people in the morning they listen to like the Christian station, right?
Yes.
Okay, that connects them spiritually.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't like I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Mm.
you know, and then there's so find like just look up different sermons.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There's some, like, you know how
Yes.
Les Brown, he coaches, like he speaks more on the spiritual side of it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tim Story, like he speaks more of a spiritual side of it. And so that can be something that can get you spiritually connected
Right.
without having to, like, you know, because a lot of time when I say get spiritually connected, a lot of people might think, oh well, that means I gotta go read the Bible and I gotta like study the Bible, right?
Mhm.
I mean, for me, Tim Story said, hey, you know what? Why don't you just look at Proverbs? Like I have an app on my phone, and it's Proverbs, right?
Yes, sir.
And so like the Proverbs, it just gives me a you see it?
Yeah, like a daily
It's
reminder.
very simple, you know what I mean? And just that, like just that, like just opening that app and like, you know, you might not really understand the whole meaning of it, but it that connects you really quick.
Right.
It kind of grounds you, you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so that's what I found. Like I was never one to, like, I know, for example, like Mike from our other shop over there, like in the morning, he tells me he gets up like at 4 o'clock in the morning and he reads the Bible for an hour, right? That's how he gets spiritually connected. I couldn't do that, man. You know, I couldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and so everybody's different. So kind of find what works for you. It might be the morning sermon, Joe Osteen, because Joe Osteen's very like broad, like he's very broad in his message. So his messages are they're kind of intertwined because it's motivational, but it's also spiritual, and it kind of grounds you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can under he just kind of he communicates it to where I understand it.
Right. Yeah, I
And
was
so you know what
listening
I'm saying?
to one of his sermons
So
yesterday morning.
it might be Joe, it might be someone else, it might be Les Brown, it might be someone that kind of, you know, who, if you look at uh Steve Harvey, whenever he talks, he likes to throw like a verse in there. So I mean, that's what my thing on that. But I think like spiritually is it's something that takes time, and and you can actually say, you know what, like for the next 4 weeks, I want to just get connected with spiritually. I want to understand it, how, you know, what belief that my belief is, and how do I believe in myself, and really connect on that level, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
But the thing with this is like, if you can just do 1%, you know, 1% each day in like if you can do each area, like just 1%, touch on it, each, like a small 1%, it'll have a compound effect at the end of the year.
Right.
Like it'll have a compound, and the reason why I wanted to add this in there is because, you know, I at the beginning I try to dismiss it. I'm gonna be real. Like I try to dismiss it. And what I mean by that is, like I always say, well, it's not that important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Oh, come on,
understand.
man. It's not that important. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
But if you look, like, okay, like for example, Grant, right? Grant spiritually connected. Scientology. That spiritually connects him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like Scientology is a real deal. Like, you know, I read some of that stuff, and I studied some of that, and it kind of basically like spiritually, it's all about the same belief systems and believing in yourself and believing that there's a higher power and believing that, faith is guidance,
Mm.
but everything spiritually, it kind of connects into that. So whatever you find spiritually connects you, it's gonna be important. I wanted to share this one thing with y'all. Diego, you still with us? Let's see. Okay, check it out. All right, check it out. So a lot of times, this is gonna be a real exercise. So I wanted to add this on here. This is something I don't usually share, but I'm gonna share on here. So goal, right? So I want to break this down a little bit. So let's talk. This is gonna be where we going? Like based on the things that we're doing today. If I continue doing these things that I'm doing today, without looking at the assessment, without doing this, if I continue on what I'm doing today, what is going to be the outcome of that? Okay, what's going to be the outcome? And I'll give you an example, right? So if I say, you know what, I was talking to a gentleman today, right? We had a conversation, and I said, well, okay, right now how are things going? Like, what's going on? What is the routine? What is the habit? Well, I'm not working out. I'm not really I'm not taking care of my health as I should be. Uh, I know I should be doing better, right? So based on not working out and not really taking care of your health, what's going to be the outcome of that? Well, I'm going to be overweight, right? I'm going to be overweight. Maybe some health issues. Not going to be as able to move like I want to. If I have a family, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to really enjoy it because I might not, whatever, right? Okay. So let's visualize now. What are some alternatives? Like, if we change, what are some things that we can change to give us a better outcome, right? Okay, you know what? Well, if I want to make sure that I'm, in the long run, if I make sure that I want to go back to back to back to back, if I want to make sure my business is constantly growing, there are some alternatives we're gonna have to change. Okay, so where we're going right now, what outcome are we gonna get out of that? Is it good or bad? That's between you and yourself. You have to decide, hey, you know what I'm going and what I'm doing right now. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, I need to make some changes. Because even though, like, this grounds you and this says, hey, you know what, like you're not doing as good as you could be doing. So where are you going right now currently? What's going to be the outcome of where you're going? Health, physically, spiritually, relationships, business, everything, right? Where's going to be the outcome? Okay, how does that outcome look? Does it look good or bad? Okay, and that's going to be you that to decide. Think about that deep. Okay, what are some alternatives that we can do to have a different outcome? Okay, so what are some alternatives that we can do to have a different outcome, to have the outcome that we want, And so on the bottom is level up. Like Dr. Elko talks about this. He's like, man, you gotta level up. You know, you know, there's two types of people: the people that run and the people that rise up. That's it. So there's two types of people: the people that run are the people that rise up. That he's like, there's not too many. There's not a bunch of different things to pick from. You're either gonna run or you're gonna rise up. So this is the real right here, guys. I mean, think about it. This is also a mental trigger. When you see goal, you're gonna think of that. Man, am I where I'm going? Is that the outcome that I want? What are some alternative outcomes that I would like? And I need to level up. You know, straight up, I need to level up. So, hey guys, I'm about to. You have any questions, Diego, Andrew?
That was a good tool. I mean, just I'm sure the daily reminder. I mean, of where you're going and your outcome, and leveling up with those, with those situations.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. But just keep in the game, man. Keep in the game. Every day's a good day, man.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Diego, you're good, Diego? Give me a high five over here, Diego, if you're good. And we'll end this call. I was telling Diego, Andrew, that 400 people received this message, like the Zoom link.
Yeah.
And they open it. It's just a lot of them are like, man, I can't make it. I'm on the road. Like, oh man, I forgot, or and so like the hustle's real, man. The struggle's real. People, people want they want to change, but they're so caught up in this momentum of distractions in life that it kind of keeps them from moving, because they're like, man, man, I forgot. I told my boys I was gonna meet them for happy hour. Man, I forgot. Like, I told my friend I'll give him a ride. Man, I forgot. Like, so I mean, if you can just, even if you go back and watch the replay, you're still benefiting yourself. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
So keep up the hustle, keep up the grind, man, and keep the massive action going.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
Diego. Later, brother.
Love you.
All right.